The first person to really detect these objects in the rings of Saturn was Dr. Norman Bergrun, and he had noticed that their behavior was highly anomalous. So what he did, he started paying more and more attention, and he found that they were behaving in highly anomalous ways, that they were very large, and that they seemed to be concentrating their effort on an unfinished ring at its terminals. This investigation in this ring was completed by them. At this moment, even NASA has admitted are vast objects within the corona of our sun. Some always there, now is a gathering of many. They have protected this planet from countless cycles of coronal mass ejections that would otherwise have decimated all lineage of cultures present on a relatively short historical rather than geophysical basis. This is the answer of the greatest of all anomaly, how a life-giving fusion star can be so close, yet not cyclically decimate the life it gives. But at the same time, these objects can serve the opposite extreme, when what occupies a planet is sentient, turns on its own. The EMVs have been around from the very beginning, ever since any sentient life has been seated, as they are the mechanical designers of systems that can support life long enough for civilizations to come and go. It is what begins life on a planet. First of all, you have to have an engineered configuration of this planet with its fusion star. The planet has to have a moon around it in a certain proportion, a range of proportion to the planet size to make it alive. This drives the mantle like a generator, the armature, and produces features that'll hold atmosphere, provide a gravity, provide what's needed. These are no accidents. This is all engineered. This is no hit and miss, a 1,000,000-to-1 probability. No, this is created and managed in a wondrous and beautiful way. They're not under any particular person's command. They're like on automatic pilot. It's pretty well automatic. If you need some direction, let's just say it's God. But they're far beyond anyone's memory, any ET. And they're regarded with awe by ET, or all ETs. And speaking euphemistically, if not literally, these objects are the hand of God. There was an incident in Utah that opened all that up to me. There is a place in a national forest in Utah in the La Salle mountain range where there is an ongoing operation that is part of what EMVs do. At night, these EMVs mine deep earth and deposits, and they remove them and put them in the rings of Saturn. The material is bombarded by cosmic radiation and broken down, and then they return earth deposits from the rings of Saturn. And when it's ready, it's completely assimilable by any kind of tissue and has remarkable qualities. They return them so that the earth can be reseeded and once again be fertile after a failed experiment is plowed under. They're like the fertilizer machines of the farmer's field. The EMVs have nothing to do with the military or the intelligence community at all. Nothing. They cannot be approached. ET cannot approach them. They are regarded with absolute awe by ET. And when I speak of ET, I'm speaking of people from all over this part of the galaxy. The EMVs are an energy. They have form, but they are blinding. You can't see their detail. There's something very wonderful on the inside of these things. I'm going to tell you now because, in a way, everyone has a right to know this. Souls are inside these objects. There's no suffering. There's a community. It's very wonderful. You want to be there all the time. You don't want to leave. When you're gone, you feel a mournful loss, and you feel their mournful loss for you. It's indescribable. You'll be there one day. Extraterrestrials are sentient species, very, very much so humanoid, and have very little differences between us, with one important exception: the unified consciousness. They have removed aberrancy from the species, like suicide bomber, like serial killers, like pedophiles, etc., etc., etc. Because when you have Star Trek or star travel technology, you've placed potentially in one person's hand the ability to destroy everybody. The ETs don't have the social injustice that seems to breed it. They don't have a problem with distribution of wealth. They don't have social engineers working on efforts to mind control people into doing things against their own self-interest. Aberrancy has a source and has a cause. It's not just happenstance or genetic. And if you go about correcting any problem effectively, yes, you can solve these problems. And, well, there are dark sides to everything. I'll say this, that the civilizations the ETs are from don't tolerate anything in the way of manipulation or agenda. There's strict rules in place, and they're enforced. If ET has a dark presence here, that will be dealt with, and that'll be taken in consideration when the time comes that ET will press for some remediation. And so far, the one thing that has caused the most confusion is the interlope of the EVs, and they're not tolerated. The ET will get rid of them as they find them. I'll just say this, that there will be no hostile ET presence against Earth. There are residuals of former civilizations who have the evidence of which is far beyond prehistory, and you may find all sorts of anomaly. These stargates go back to a time before the present mankind was here. A lot of things have come and gone. There have been more people on this planet at one time than there are now. Only one successful civilization has gone beyond that point of no return successfully to something better, become a part of something better. One of them elevated to a higher form of manifestation, and the others took the wrong path. Worlds exist where every life is regarded as precious, and no one wants to raise a hand to another. Persist on the hope to see this, and don't fear the worst. Even it will bring wonders to you, but don't reach for that before your time. We all have discoveries to make as each expression of existence plays out.